Very cool.
Well, hello, retro game players. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Marcus. We're going to be talking about the 8BITDO SNES30. This is it right here. This controller really impressed me. I have to be honest, I was not expecting it to be this good. I figured what we'll do is unbox it, and then I'll show you how to actually pair it with your Retron 5, which is important because all the instructions that I found online were for a previous firmware. So if you upgrade your firmware, which you should do to the latest version of the SNES30, it will not pair using the normal instructions online. So their website does have the instructions, but it's kind of hidden there, so it was kind of weird. But a little background on my Retron 5, which is right here. This thing's awesome. I love the Retron 5. I really do. I don't normally use it for videos, but every once in a while it's something that I'll throw in just because it's quick and easy and HDMI. But what I have this set up as is in my living room. I have it set up so it's my main, retro gaming system, and I just bring in cartridges for my game room and play them on my big TV in there. So this is the second unit. The first unit I had actually went out, I would say, within 2 weeks of using. And what it was is, I don't remember which cart slot it was, but the pins got all bent up, like really mangled. And I was pulling it out from the side, like they suggest. So I emailed Hyperkin, and they sent me a new one. And they sent me a new box and everything, which was cool. So I actually have 2 Retron 5 boxes. If anybody's interested in a box, let me know. And then what I did was I did this SD card, kind of not really a mod, but basically it's a way of loading ROMs from any cart. So you put in a normal SNES card or Genesis card or whatever, and then you go to select patch and you can load up any game. And I'll show that too. So anyway, the Retron 5 was working great. It had the goofy little controller, which was awesome for, being a remote controller. But then one day, about, I don't know, like a month ago, I went to go play some games and it wouldn't work. It would not turn on. Actually, it would turn on, but it would not pair up with the console no matter what I did. And so that was the basic Retron 5 controller. I contacted Hyperkin. This has been 2 years since I bought it. I think 2 years, I'm guessing. It's over warranty, that's my point. And all I had to do was reply to my original return, and they sent me a new Retron 5 controller. So this is a brand new one, which is cool. But while I was waiting, I'm like, there has to be a better controller because I don't like this micro switch joystick. I wanted something, that was more authentic, and if I could find something wireless, that was awesome. I know that there are some wireless Genesis controllers I remember from back in the day, and those use like RF or radio frequency. The newer ones, like this 8BITDO uses Bluetooth. So anyway, I found 2 of these online for really cheap, like 25 bucks each. I think I got them on eBay, and I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll get 2. And that'll be awesome if I have a friend over, we can play wirelessly. And I was not expecting the controller quality to be good, but here it is, and it is really good. It is like, it feels just like the same plastic. The buttons feel great. I've played a lot of games with this now. Pretty soon there's a Super Ghouls and Ghosts Challenge video that I did for Mike Tendo's channel. It'll be out in a couple weeks, I'll probably put it up. But I've submitted that footage to him, and I played it using this controller and the Retron 5. So pretty cool. What I wanted to show you guys though is as I unboxed this, I was impressed with the packaging. So let's go and check that out. And then once I get it unboxed, I'll show you how to actually pair it up using the correct button combinations. So let's check this out. Alright, so here's my 2 SNES30 8BITDO controllers. The one on top has already been opened, obviously. The bottom one, I'll take you through what it looks like. So this box, first off, you'll notice is actually extremely pretty nice quality considering, and you can see this is the 30th anniversary gamepad edition. So I don't know, I didn't really understand that when I bought it, but I just wanted to get I wanted to get this old school classic one, so they had other designs too. And there's also an 8BITDO that's got like analog sticks, but I just wasn't interested in that. When the slip cover comes off, you're presented with a pretty cool little logo there. This reminds me of the packaging you'll find on, like, you know, smartphones. So then you remove this top cover, and behold, there's the controller itself, which again is really high quality. I can't say enough about this, so awesome job, you guys. So you pull it out, feels just like, and even the buttons. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I was really impressed with this, very high quality. And then what kind of surprised me is when you start taking out all the other stuff. So this kind of flips up. You've got your manual, which again, a lot of the instructions in here were pretty outdated as far as once you upgrade your firmware, so that's sort of a problem. And then this little thing that comes up first says everything old is new again. And check this out. I couldn't believe this either. I was, again, not expecting this, but it's a keychain that says FC30 on it. I'll open it up here. So it's pretty cool. There it is, 8BITDO. One side it's got an old school controller, then the FC30. So I think that's the other controller that they make, the Famicom edition. But anyway, that's pretty cool. So it came with that inside. And then it just has this USB cable, which is used to charge the controller. Basically a micro USB charger cable. But yeah, all in all, I was really impressed as far as, you know, the controller itself. So a couple things. When you first turn on the controller, that's how you determine what mode it's going to be in for pairing. So if you hold the start button down, this one's on, so let me turn it off. So you'll see the light go off. So now if I turn it on, I can hold the start button down. To get it into Retron pairing mode, or at least so it's compatible with a Retron, you hold start and this button at the same time, the left shoulder. Once that happens, you are ready to go as far as getting it ready to pair. And I'll show this in a second with the video, but essentially the instructions tell you to hold, I think it was A and B and these shoulders buttons to get it to go into pairing mode, or maybe it was Y and B. Anyway, that's wrong. After you update the firmware, you actually go to the Retron settings and you hold select, and you'll see if you hold select, it'll start to flash real crazy. So that's entered pairing mode for the Retron 5. And then once it does sync, I'll show you this too, but in the game, for a while I was playing the games and I couldn't figure out how to pull up the Retron 5 menu. Well, that is done by holding both these shoulder buttons and B and A, kind of tapping and then letting go, and it will pull up the menu. So let's go and check out how it works with the Retron 5 and how to sync it. So here I am at the main menu for the Retron 5. I just have a normal Nintendo controller manually, you know, wired up. So the way it works is this is running version 4.0 of the firmware. So you want to do that. You want to upgrade this to 4.0. I could not find instructions on this anywhere, so this is why I think partly this video is hopefully helpful. But again, the way you turn it on in Retron mode is you hold the left trigger and then start. And then once you do that, the light will come on, which means, you know, whatever, that it's now in Retron 5 mode. So basically what you do is you go down here to settings, and you want to go down to the controllers, manage Retron 5 controllers, go in there, and then what you want to do then is hold select. So the instructions I found online had you holding like shoulder buttons or something, I don't remember, but that's not how it works with firmware 4.0. So instead you hold select down and the light will go from blinking to sort of rapidly blinking. And once that happens, like that, then you hit pair controller and you kind of wait for it. Now, sometimes it pairs right away, other times you have to do it a couple times. So that's the only thing that I've noticed. So right now, my Retron 5, all the lights are blinking, it's like seeking. It did work that time. Sometimes it takes a couple times, I'm not sure why. So now I can use this controller. A couple things. First off is the controller auto off. I would go ahead and put that to 30 minutes, because if this falls asleep, or if the Retron puts it to sleep, then you cannot wake it up. It's like you have to repair it. So that's the only thing. And I have not figured out a way to repair this just automatically. Like every time I turn this off, I have to repair it. But it's not a huge deal if you're playing games for a while, especially if you're playing with 2 people and you want to just like play for a couple hours or whatever. It's really no big deal. Anyway, so now I'm going to go back to the main menu. You'll see I have Super Ghouls and Ghosts loaded in here. This is the actual cart. I'll just hit play to show you that it's loading. And then the thing is that to get to the Retron 5 menu, you have to hold B and A and both triggers like this. And then just let go, and there's your menu. So if I go back to the main menu, I'll show you how I have this kind of, it's not really modded, but it may be the term, I don't know. But I'm going to go to game menu here, game specific settings, and then select patch. Now you'll see I have a bunch of ROMs. This is all coming from the SD card, but because I have a Super Nintendo game physically in there, I can only load these types of ROMs, so Super Nintendo ROMs. So I'll go in here and, you know, I can pull in whatever game I want. Let's just go and see if I can, maybe I'll do like Final Fight 2 or something. So now that I've selected that, I can go back to the main menu, but I do want to show you this. If the game doesn't load, you may need to come in here and choose Patch Expects Header, and that will sometimes fix it too. So don't give up if you get a black screen. But so now it's gonna load Super Ghouls and Ghosts, but the patch is set, and so watch this. At the bottom of the screen when I hit go, you'll see patch file loaded, and so now it's actually loading the ROM of Final Fight 2, which is pretty awesome. So again, this is an awesome controller, but you really have to figure out how to sync it. Like that's the only thing that's annoying. But yeah, here I'll choose Hagar real quick and just kind of go around and show you what's up. But yeah, I love this controller. It's completely authentic feeling, and the ROM thing is really cool too. I'll go back to the main menu in a second. So again, I'll hold those 4, pulls up the menu. I can go all the way back, and yeah, let's go back in here, select patch, and I'll just show you, like, I've got Genesis games loaded in here. These are all my, you know, like there's Earthworm Jim and all that stuff. And then if I have a Game Boy game launched, I can do that too. I got lost there. So if I go into Game Boy, you know, I've got all these ROMs here. Same thing, Game Boy Advance, whatever. You just have to put in a cart that you know, it supports at the time. So right now, again, Super Nintendo, I can pull up like Samurai Showdown. Let's see if that loads. So sometimes they don't load, and again, you got to go back and choose the patch file expects header, and even then sometimes it won't work. So if it doesn't work, not a huge deal, you know, you tried. So like right now, this doesn't seem to be loading. So let's go to the main menu. We'll go back. Go in here to Patch Expects Header. And let's see if it makes a difference. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. So it did that time, as you can see. I love this game, although nothing like the original, let me put it that way. What I love about this game is that they kept Earthquake in. Just go and choose Earthquake. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I would totally recommend this controller, and like I said, I'm really impressed with it. So that pretty much covers it, and until next time, you guys know what to do. You're going to keep that shit retro by playing with the 8BITDO SNES30 later on.